Whew. All right, guys, we're having to chisel plow this field right here. Chris and I hooked up the 193 turn plow on the Cub farm yesterday, and we brought it up here to do a test run on it, and we put the point like where it would just dig into the ground, and we had to make like 6 passes in one little 4-foot area, and it wouldn't even go in the ground hardly. And when Chris would get on the back of it and put pressure on it, it would go down about 6 inches and the tractor just sit there and spin. It couldn't pull it through this hard dirt. I'm having to run this Kubota 2501 in low range and low gear just to get it to go in the ground. If I put it in high range, it won't even pull it. And you can see you see how the ground is here? I mean, it's just dirt clods. And what I'm trying to do, even though it looks like it's damp, it's really not. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to chisel plow it, and I'm going to just let it set, and hopefully the moisture will come up from the ground once we get this surface kind of broke up and down about, it's probably going, right now we're only coming down about this deep right here. I need it to go about the full 12 to 16 inches deep. But this is as deep as it'll pull in the ground. It won't go any deeper. So what I'm gonna do is continue to chisel plow the whole field. I'm gonna let it set for a day, and I'm gonna come back and see if the moisture in the ground has come up any, and I'm gonna try to chisel plow it again and see if I can get it to go down any further into the ground. And once I get it to go the full depth, then I'll bring the turn plow up here, and I will actually turn it with the farm awl. Because like it is, it won't work. I mean, we wrestled around with that thing for over an hour up here trying to get it to where it would go in the ground. And when we did get it to go in the ground, the tractor would just sit and spin because the ground's so hard it wouldn't roll it over. So these purple potatoes here, I'm fixing to have to run through them. They're going to be plowed up everywhere. You know, and a lot of people are probably thinking that's probably horrible, but you see what's already happening? If I come in here next year and I plant a garden, those things are going to come up and they're going to take my garden over, and I won't ever get what I plant out of it. So it's going to be a challenge to get them things out of the soil now. This is what I'm talking about. See, these were little potatoes that was out on the vines. Look at the slips. Look at that. I got to get these out of this field, because if I don't, next year, we won't be able to grow nothing out here. These things,
except purple sweet potatoes.
Yeah, except purple sweet potatoes. And even, look at that. That's just a root. It was never a potato, and it's already putting on slips. I'm gonna have my hands full, guys. I can tell you. I probably should have not done this.
We can see now we probably shouldn't have.
I didn't think it was gonna be this bad, you know? Look at little taters. Look at them little taters.
I mean, it's not like we left a bunch of big ones. We did find a few big ones, but that's normal.
Look, this is what
we're finding.
Little bitty taters like that right there. Look at that.
Little bitty finger-sized potatoes. So these things are good if you want something that's going to be hardy.
Yeah, if you're looking for something that...
But now these will not make potatoes. You have to take the slips off and replant.
Yeah.
All these have to come up if you're going to have potatoes.
Right. So my day is going to consist of coming back behind me here and trying to get all this mess out of the field here.
Well, the cows eat them.
Well, yeah, it's good for the cows, and if you got chickens or anything like that, but
rabbits,
but I mean, look at this. Is just a root left in the ground making slips. Oh, I'm not looking forward to next year. We're back out at our big garden here. About 2 weeks ago, Chris and I worked on the 193 moldboard plow for the Cub Farmall here, and we brought it up to try to see if it would work in the garden, but it was so hot and so dry, it wouldn't even go in the ground. And so we just aborted it at that time, and we went and hooked up the chisel plow on the back of my big Kubota, and we brought it in, and the next day I chisel plowed this thing in that hard dry dirt. I mean, it literally broke up big old clods in it, and I said I'm just going to let it set till it rains, however long that takes. Well, this past week we got a 1 3/4 rain, and I've been letting it set, and you can still see those damp places in it, but it is beginning to dry out a little bit. Now I'm going to go back and take the moldboard plow here and see if I can get it to go in the ground. Now, one thing that we did realize with this plow is it has been bent, and I can show you up under the front right yonder on the drawbar, somebody, I don't know what they did to it, they backed into something or whatever, and they twisted that bar right up there. Well, we had to put some washers under it up yonder to get this thing where it would sit back up vertical again. Now all this stuff, you know, it all still works. All this is working good, and y'all did come through for me on the other piece that was on here. It was called a joiner. It is used for, my understanding is if you're plowing like a grassy field, and it is for sod and stuff, and I'm not doing that right now, so I left the joiner off. Now this actually came from Mr. Keith. He brought it down to me from Michigan with another Cub tractor, which in the future, hopefully I'll get a chance to work on. And all this came with it. I've completely went through it, took out all the bolts and everything. I've redone everything, grinded everything down, cleaned it back down to the bare metal, repainted everything, and today I want to put it back into the field out here and see if it's going to work now. Now Chris had helped me that day. Chris could walk behind the tractor and just put his hand on it, put the weight of his hand on it, and it would start sinking down in the ground, which told me that it was going to work. The ground was just too hard. So today, it's just going to be me. I'm out here just testing it out. I need to be able to flip all this dirt and roll it over so that we can get ready for some fall stuff that we need to put in here. Now, this is not tractor number 1. This is tractor number 2 that I bought with Mr. Tim. I've completely gone through it and redone it. There may still be a couple of little issues here and there. I haven't painted the front wheels yet. I haven't painted this hub here on the back yet. There's little things here and there. I got one headlight missing on the other side on the front. There's just a couple of little things. I got a little bit of chatter in the PTO system. I just put that in there brand new. I don't know what it is. I may have to go back into it to see. I do have something right here on the front end. I'm going to have to take the axle pin out of it because I don't know if it'll do it now, but no, it's not going to do it now. I noticed I got a little bit of a little tapping noise in the front axle here, and I looked and I can just take the pin out and put a washer in it, and that should take care of that. So we're going to take it out now. I'd like to say it's its maiden voyage, but me and Chris did try to use it the other day, so maybe this will be the first successful time we got to use it. Now, one thing that's been a learning curve for me was if you have this in this position right here, there ain't enough room to get off the tractor. You have to let it down and come over to the side here. Now getting on it, you can't get on it with it in this position. You can get on it in that position, you just can't get off of it in that position. And I'm used to having my arms on the tractor right here to put my foot on to step up on there. I guess it's a good thing that I'm tall, you know. it's a little bit easier for me to get on it.
Are you saying short, heavy people might have trouble?
You have a short person, I mean, look here, we've only got like 7 inches right here.
You got long, skinny legs?
I got long, skinny legs, and they'll go between that, you know? I mean, I don't know what International was thinking about when they done this, but...
Maybe all farmers were skinny back then.
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. It is definitely a challenge. Okay, let's get this baby cranked up and see if it's going to turn. Now, look, I've never run a single moldboard plow before. I've done double ones only a couple of times in my life. I've got a big disc one that I've used many, many times, but now a single one, don't laugh at me, because I don't know if I know what I'm doing just off the bat, but I'll figure it out.
So what happened?
I'm I'm the length of the tractor from finishing the field, and I run out of gas. What are the odds?
And you just brought enough to get through and get back, huh?
I just brought a gallon. Yeah, just enough to get me through. This has been a job. 4 hours on this field. The cub, halfway through the field, the plow wouldn't even go in the ground. And I had done chisel plowed it before the rain. And it just, the plow would just slide on top of the ground. So I had to stop, go get the diesel. I came out here with a chisel plow, dropped it in the ground.
On the, which tractor?
The Kubota, the 2501 Kubota.
Yeah.
And it spun in low range from one end of that field to the other end, trying to pull that chisel plow in low range, just spinning.
I was busy. I didn't get the video of that.
Down about 12, 14 inches deep. It took a while, but I finally made it through the half of the field with that diesel. I took it back, got the farm came back up here, dropped that plow down, this one on the back, the turn plow. And I got water in the tires on this thing. And it's literally, you see the depth that I'm plowing there, about 10 inches. I mean, you can see the plow still in the dirt right there. That's how deep I'm going. That cub is spinning from one end to the other end of this field, just spinning.
After chisel plowing.
After chisel plowing it. And you can go down through yonder and look. This is the good end of the field. About halfway down, ain't nothing but giant dirt clods, just rolling up everywhere. And
lots of potatoes that were on vines.
Hundreds of sweet potatoes is in that soil out there. Literally hundreds of them that was out on the vines and stuff like that.
So my thought is next year we don't have to plant sweet potatoes. We just let them come up and do their thing.
Come up, pull the draws off, and, we won't know what we got, but...
well,
I can pretty much tell in the field.
Yeah.
In the field where they're at, I pretty much would know.
So we should have our own sweet potato
what's
draws.
What's going to happen? They're going to take the garden over next year.
If we don't
do something, when they start coming up, it will take the garden over. But this is my other issue here. Way halfway out in that field out yonder is these right here, roots off these oak trees.
So you're breaking those up all through the
that's
field.
one reason I wanted to flat break it. I like to flat break my field at least once every 2 years, because these oak roots will grow halfway out yonder in that field out yonder.
Remember the first year, 2 years ago, we got a lot out of here.
We got a ton of them out of here. Now, you got to remember, if you go back and watch our first videos on Pecan Grove, this was woods. They were
pine trees.
They was pine trees out here this big around.
And yopons
and yopons and privy and oak trees and pecan trees and all that stuff was all out in here.
And this right here was nothing but woods all the way.
Oh, the woods came all the way to right out here.
Yeah. We couldn't even drive to start with.
No, I came in with a tractor and cleared this, and then I haven't got to this yet, but I did get underneath the pecan trees up in yonder. I've got that.
Where you can pick up pecan trees.
Where I can pick up pecans. I still got to take some trees out of there. But I have got that where, it took, oh my goodness.
Most of last year.
Most of last year on and off, just coming up here. I'd push up a few trees, take the grapple, come get them, and take them out of here. And I'm still not through.
But at least you can get to some of the pecans now.
I can get to some of the pecans, yes. And I can get around out in there. I can mow it with a riding lawnmower now. But I still got a clump two clumps down in yonder that look just like this right here that I got to clean out.
But if it starts raining,
oh, you won't even get out here if it rains now.
We should it should absorb some moisture for the spring next year.
I've got it turned down to the clay because I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's a reddish tint on this.
It's hard to tell in here now.
There's a reddish tint on that ground out there because I've got it all the way to the clay. As a matter of fact, I did turn up a little bit of clay in it. I didn't want to, but I did. Now, what I'm going to do is first thing in the morning, I'm not going to fool with it this evening because my butt's tired this evening from being on them tractors. Plus, I bush hogged a neighbor's whole pasture today, yesterday evening and today. for 2 more implements I'm going to show you guys in a video. We cut a deal. If I'd bush hog his pasture, he'd give me 2 implements. And one of them I didn't even know I needed until I got it. But I'm going to come up here in the morning. I'm going to take that Ranger and I'm going to lime all this in here real heavy. And then I'm going to take the section hair on the Kubota and I'm going to run through here and I'm going to section hair all this back down level and bust all them dirt clods all up. And hopefully
let it sit for a week or so till we decide if we need it for. You're gonna need it for some onions.
I'm gonna have it for the
probably
onions.
That side over
We're
yonder.
gonna do that side right over yonder. We're gonna make a couple of rows of onions over yonder. These are 300 foot. If y'all want to know how long these rows are, they're 300 feet long. That's a football field length. That's a football field from there to down yonder. So we're gonna plant as many onions on a couple of rows or 1 row or whatever I end up with as I can get, you know. That's one reason we want to go ahead and get this done. Plus I want to put a few turnip greens, rutabagas, you know, a few things like that in here. And then let the rest of it, I'm just going to probably let it set through the winter. Now everybody talks about putting a cover crop on. You'll
have sweet potatoes.
Well, you can't do that here in the deep south because if I put a cover crop on here, I need to be able to start planting in by the end of January.
Our potatoes need to. You need to put some potatoes in the ground too.
Yeah, well, we may go ahead and put some in the ground for fall over there too. But the only thing is, I don't need potatoes where I put all that lime in here yet. So.
What about this right here? If you don't have lime here, could you do the potatoes here?
If I don't lime this edge through here, I could put 1 row of potatoes right here.
And don't deer not like potatoes very well?
They will if they're hungry, but with these double fences, we haven't had a deer in here in a year.
So I think you need to keep them out of our greens.
Yeah, we may do a row of Irish potatoes here because ours is starting to sprout pretty bad.
And we could definitely put some in the ground.
We made French fries out of all of them that was any size. We just got a bunch of little ones. And if we don't do nothing, they just want to shrivel up and go away. So we actually have nothing to lose in this. I mean, we have everything to gain. Even if we don't get nothing but a bunch of little potatoes out of it.
New potatoes is good.
They're new potatoes, yeah. So we'll get this thing ready. But anyway, we can't put a cover crop on here because if we do, I have to start planting in January and February. And the cover crop, if I turn it under, it just comes right back up. You know, I mean, it don't go away. I tried that one year and it like to ruin me getting a garden planted. You know,
it's best just to let the ground set for
just let it
a couple of 3 months.
Let it set for about 3 months. Go ahead and lime it pretty heavy. Let it set all winter, and when springtime comes, come in here and I'll probably chisel plow it, and we'll start planting whatever we're gonna plant this year. I ain't even sure what I'm gonna plant. I know I'll plant corn. I just don't know if I'll plant the whole thing back in corn or what I'm gonna do, you know, because we got enough sweet potatoes to, honest to goodness, if we could get something done with, we have enough to last 2 years.
But we need some sweet potatoes, but we don't need 1,000.
We don't need 1,000. That ain't gonna happen again. No. Now I may have enough draws to do 1,000 because they may come up out here.
We may be selling draws.
Well, I wish I could.
We can't in Mississippi.
Stupid state laws. I would sell every one of them I could, you know, and I'd make people deals on them, but I can't, you know. So that is what it is.
I gotta go fix supper.
All right, let me see if this tractor's gonna crank back, and I'll get that other 10, 12 feet there. And what are the odds?